All right. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. But hey, I'll tell you what. I was just messing around with settings, and I don't see. I don't want to jinx it too much, but I don't see MDS on here anymore. So, I was just toying around with some system settings. I went on to the Launchpad, and then I went to system settings, and I think I went to let's see, what was it? I think it was like I think I looked up Spotlight, and then I turned off Spotlight for like most things. So like Spotlight's access to whatever. I like removed all of that, and hopefully that worked. I turned off indexing. It's getting so late though. So I want to wrap up maybe this. And then I think I figured out the headphone issue too. But let's see. How to pronounce. We got like 3 things to pronounce here. We got these punt. What? No. Google. How to pronounce these punt. ThyssenKrupp? That's not the word. Dude. How do you say these punt? What is this weird website? English. Okay, so I think thighs punt is thighs punt. All right, thighs punt. I could do that. Thighs punt. How to pronounce bantam slip. Dude, what is up with this? Bantamsklimp. Bantamsclip. Dude, there's literally no information on how to pronounce that. There's 0 articles. Dewey Fontaine. Dinah Fontaine. All right, cool. That actually kind of clears it up. Dinah Fontaine. All right, cool. So we'll put back on this thing. Bam. There we go. I think that only didn't do that because I needed to restart the capture. And if I don't restart the capture, it's not a duplicated channel. All right. Cool. So Thies Punt, Bentamsclip, and Doing Fontaine? Doing Fontaine? Dinah Fontaine. Dinah Fontaine. In conclusion, ESCOM intends to identify and select additional sites in parallel with the licensing of Thiespont, Bentamsclip, and Dianfontaine sites. The aim of additional sites is to support the future nuclear program as backup sites in the event that Thiespont, Bentamsclip, and Dianfontaine are disqualified. As a consequence, RSA's nuclear siting program, NSIP, initiative may now be launched, taking into consideration by the recommendations taking into consideration the recommendations by the reader. Keywords: Environmental Impact Assessment, Integrated Resource Plan 2010, Coburg Operating Unit, KOU, Nuclear Siting, Nuclear Power Station, Nuclear Sites Investigation Program, NSIP, Republic of South Africa, RSA, Senior Seismic Hazard Assessment Committee, SSHAC, Site-Specific Report, SSR, Strategic Reserve. Chapter 1, Introduction. ESCOM ranks in the top 20 worldwide. ESCOM ranks in the top 20 worldwide in terms of its power generation capacity. Nearly 45% of all ESCOM customers are supplied directly in South Africa. The balance is being resold by distributors such as local municipalities. ESCOM generates approximately 45%. ESCOM generates approximately 45% of Africa's electricity. 95% energy is consumed in South Africa. ESCOM generates, transmits, and distributes electricity to various customers. ESCOM sells electricity directly to about 3,000 industrial customers, 1,000 mining customers, 49,000 commercial customers, 84,000 agricultural customers, and more than 4 million residential customers, of whom the majority are prepaid customers. Most of the sales are in South Africa, with other Southern African countries accounting for a small percentage. Cited at escom.co.za/ANReport11. Coburg Nuclear Power Station is licensed to ESCOM. It is the only nuclear power station operating on the African continent. The plant came online 14 March 1984. ESCOM has conducted a nuclear sighting investigation program, NSIP, in the 1980s and recommended five sites as being potentially suitable for siting additional nuclear power stations, namely 1. Brazil near Kleinsee. Brazil near Kleinsee in the Namakwa district of Northern Cape province of South Africa. Schulpfontein. How to pronounce? Let's see if I said this right. Kleinsee. 28 seconds. It took you 28 seconds of a 58-second video to get to the point. That's more than halfway. Good job, the word box. I should start my own pronunciation YouTube channel because this is ridiculous. Namakwa. Namakwa. Brazil near Kleinsee in the Namakwa district of the Northern Cape province of South Africa. All right. Okay. Brazil. That's right, Pandad. That's right. Pandad, that is correct. Brazil. I'm Brazilian. Yo, what's up? Good to see you. What is up, Pandad? Welcome in. Yeah, these are nuclear energy siting recommendations for South Africa. But this one says Brazil near Kleinsee in the Namakwa district of Northern Cape province of South Africa. I don't understand that because Brazil and South Africa are very, very distinct from one another. So what are you doing? I'm recording an audiobook. This is an audiobook on nuclear sighting. And they are proposing a couple different places to have nuclear power stations. And I don't know how to pronounce a good amount of this, so Fontaine. I think it's Schulpfontein? Zero videos. According to ESCOM, 5 sites were investigated. Yeah. Apparently this place doesn't exist except for the thing I'm reading. Oh, here we go. Whistling in the Dark Inside South Africa's Power Crisis. These include Brazil near Kleinsee, Sculpfontein. It does not tell me how to pronounce it though. Ugh, I'm lost. I am absolutely lost. Cool. Hey man, thanks so much for popping in. I really appreciate you watching. Yeah, this is so my name is Eric Pullman. I make audiobooks. I've got 3 so far that I've narrated. I'm on my I've released my 4th, so that's about to go live later this week, but I primarily broadcast the entire process when it comes from auditioning to the production, so like the recording of it, the editing of it, or even if I outsource it to editors, sort of looking through that edited clip and trying to see where I could do quality control to it, putting it all into chapters and then uploading it to this site that I work off of, ACX, and everything goes up to Audible. Everything gets uploaded like that, and is freely available for people on Audible. Well, it's available. It's not free, but I do give out promo codes to anybody who's watching me do these books. You're more than welcome to get any promo code of anything I've ever created. And hopefully I could just keep it going with this, but the concept is to showcase what audiobook production looks like and how you could emulate it as well if you're interested in it. So that's what I do, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I think I have a couple people from Brazil actually that watch me in here. There's maybe one or two. I've heard of a couple people either from Brazil or Central America, but yeah, definitely not alone. And I have a pretty very glad to have a international audience that come in and out. So I appreciate you popping by. Thank you so much. Sometimes I don't see the chat, but right now I do see it right here. Feels like I've heard your voice before. Maybe I have been on ABC before, so it might have been that. It might have been that. So satisfying. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that. You know, I'm definitely still improving the way I perform and the way that I do these narrations. So there's a lot of intonation on here that to me doesn't really quite meet my expectations, and I want to get to the point where I can ease into the best stuff that I know that I'm capable of, being able to ease into that moment and that flow state. And I think it takes maybe about like one audition to get there, or like maybe a chapter, and then I start to flow. But I mean, it can be a process to really warm up. Yeah, I think that's probably the way to do it. Warm up to it. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can. Sculpfontein? I'm going to say Sculpfontein. 2. Sculpfontein near Hondeklip Bay in the Namakwa district. In the Namakwa district of Northern Cape Province of the Northern Cape Province of South Africa. 3. Thijspont, approximately in the Eastern Cape Province of South Africa. Bontamsklip. 4. Bontamsklip, approximately in the Overberg district of the Western Cape Province of South Africa. 5. Dinafontein, approximately in the Western Cape province of South Africa. Approximately in the Western Cape province of South Africa. Okay, all right. I think that's all right. I might record just a little bit longer on here, but it's getting a tad late, so I might pop off at some point in the near future. Let's see. I had to restart everything, so this one broadcast might seem a little shorter because I was dealing with some issues on this activity monitor. But for the time being, it looks like everything's working fairly well. Trying not to jinx it, knock it on wood for that. But usually I'll go for like anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. That's usually like the sweet spot. And anything after that, I think there's like a dip in quality. So I try to only go for like a few hours at a time. Section 15.8 of the Nuclear Energy Policy, DME 2008, published in 2008, states that government through ESCOM shall identify, acquire, and license under the NNR Act potential nuclear sites to ensure a strategic reserve of nuclear sites. In support of this policy, an appropriate number of suitable nuclear sites have to be determined, have to be identified, selected, procured, and qualified/approved. Usually I'll try and like say the slash is like and, but I just said and, so I don't really want to say it like and qualified and approved. Like, I don't know, it gets into the whole Oxford comma thing. I'm learning. I appreciate that. I love that. Yeah, definitely stay tuned, and feel free to pop in and pop out however you please. If you get a lot from the pronunciations for sure. I think I should watch you more often so I can practice my English. Well, thank you so much for watching as long as you have. I definitely appreciate that. I don't know why this Prism chat is not appearing, but let me see if I can get a Prism chat going up here. Prism chat 11. Here we go. Yeah, usually I have a chat on here, but for some reason that wasn't appearing. But absolutely. I try to pronounce everything as as didactic as possible, and I'm trying to make sure that I have the best enunciation when it comes to pronunciation. So, I think I have someone else that comes in every now and then to do the kind of the same thing as well. So, you are in good company. Thank you so much. I did just turn on the chat over there, so I think it might appear. But just to not shock you or anything. All right, let's see. Where was I? Qualified/approved. Oh yeah, that's right. during the EIA, during the EIA process for Nuclear One carried out between 2007 and 2008. Brazil and Sculpfontein. Brazil and Sculpfontein were screened out due to transmission integration constraints. Thijspunt, Bontamsklip, and Dijnfontein are currently being considered for Nuclear One in support of the IRP. 2010. However, due to the possible technical or process challenges that might prevent the use of any of these sites, the required capacity of IRP 2010 might not be released. ESCOM 2011. ESCOM 2011. ESCOM intends to identify and select additional sites. ESCOM intends to identify and select additional sites in parallel with the licensing of Thijspunt, Bontamsklip, and Dijnfontein sites. However, this initiative will only be launched when the preferred siting process has been determined. The aim of additional sites to be identified is to support the future nuclear program and to be available as backup sites in the event that Thijspunt, Bontamsklip, and Dijnfontein are disqualified. 1.1 Problem statement. Problem statement. Nuclear siting is a complex and dynamic endeavor. An incident such as Fukushima has caused a rethink of nuclear siting across the globe. INPO 2011. At the other end of the spectrum, the democratization of South Africa with its liberal democratic constitution significantly changed the nuclear siting playing field. ESCOM's siting team realized this and responded by postulating four alternative nuclear siting processes hereinafter identified by numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Currently, it is not known which of these four processes is preferred. Therefore, research is required in the form of a critical review of RSA's nuclear siting processes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and to recommend a preferred nuclear siting process that would address the specific situation in which ESCOM finds itself at the time of writing this report. Okay, I think 23 minutes is pretty good. 23 minutes will probably distill down to 12-ish minutes. I don't know how I'm gonna do these figures, but hopefully it's not too reliant on these figures. Um, Actually, I might be able to do this second. So 1.2 and 1.3, because it goes by pretty fast, and then we'll be at chapter 2, and then I'll keep the same volume. I think that's probably a better plan, actually. I'm learning. Yo, I love that. That's fun. That's fun. That's a fun emoji. I can't read it, actually, from this chat. Is that a cat? You got a cat there? Pandad, you got a cat, Pandad? All right. That's a fun cat. Sparkly cat. All right, let's see. Activity monitor is looking good. That's looking good. I love it. (1.2) Research aims and objectives. The aim of the research is to identify a preferred nuclear siting process for South Africa. The objectives of the research are as follows. 1. To review RSA's nuclear siting process 1, 2, 3, and 4, and benchmark them against international best practices. Best practices. 2. To analyze the RSA nuclear siting process 1, 2, 3, and 4 is part of the outcome of interviews. 3. To recommend a RSA nuclear siting process to follow. 1.3 Research Chapter Division. Six chapters are illustrated in Figure 1 for the research process that assists the researcher in the preceding chapters. Figure 1, Chapter Division. Chapter 2 presents a review of the literature of nuclear siting processes. It describes the historical South African nuclear siting process. South African nuclear siting process 1 to 4 and other siting processes such as EPRI and IAEA guides. This chapter also identifies 7 themes that are used in the remainder of the report as yardstick against which siting processes 1 to 4 are measured. These themes are referred to hereinafter as variables of interest. Chapter 3 provides an outline of the methodological. Chapter 3 provides an outline of the methodological approach carried out in achieving the intended objectives of this research study. It describes the research design, definitions, sampling, data sources, analysis, and rationale behind the research technique. Chapter 4 formally presents the findings of interviews with 8 participants on nuclear siting processes. on nuclear sighting processes. In-depth interviews in seven in sorry. In-depth interviews in 7 variables of interests, themes, were applied to evaluate the research problem in this chapter. Chapter 5 presents the discussion and interpretation on the information gathered on nuclear sighting processes 1 to 4. This chapter explores the interview results of 8 participants as illustrated in Appendix 3. In Appendix 3, in respect of achieving the intended objectives in Chapter 1. Chapter 6 concludes with 4 recommendations as a result from interviews on RSA's nuclear sighting processes. The results recommended by the researcher are for consideration before the implementation of Phase 2 of the nuclear sighting program. The next chapter briefly outlines the literature reviewed as a precursor for the critical review of nuclear sighting processes in the RSA. This chapter will report on work already carried out on nuclear sighting. It will go on to highlight areas of controversy in the literature that will be later referenced to as variables of interest. All right. All right. I think I'm losing my voice for right now. So that is probably it for me today. I'm sleepy, think of going to get sleep now. Hey, me too. Me too. I'm right there with you. That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Pandid. That is a great idea. I'm going to steal your idea if that's cool. If that's chill. Back at it again with the Evo 8. Thank you so much for tuning in. Pandit, I'm going to go ahead and give you a sub as well. Thank you for the follow. You are awesome, and I will definitely, let's see if I can, there we go. I will definitely see you guys on the next one, because my voice is getting a little strained, a little strainy over here. I'm straining my voice a bit, so we don't want to push it. We've seen the issues with pushing it in the past, and we don't want to repeat it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop for there tonight and focus on editing probably tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are great. Appreciate you. Good evening. Thank you for everything. Hey, man, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I love Twitch, and I love YouTube for introducing me to new people. So very nice to meet you. And I hope you have sweet dreams, you know. Hopefully you have a good night's sleep, you know, and hopefully when I see you again, we're all well rested. So I'll see you on the next one. So good to see you.